Welcome to Grimwood City, a place where the veil between the magical and the mundane is as thin as a whisper. 9 districts, each a realm of its own mystery and allure. From the bustling trade at Marble Rock Pier to the arcane secrets of Silkway, Grimwood City harbors both wonder and peril. Here, werewolves, vampires, and mystical beings walk hidden among the ironbound, the ordinary folk. The magical and the mortal coexist, bound by ancient secrets and unspoken truths. The ley lines, a web of arcane energy, converge here, weaving a spell that masks the extraordinary from human eyes. Brave adventurers delve into the ancient depths, seeking forbidden knowledge and battling untold horrors. In Grimwood City, every shadow hides a tale, every whisper holds a secret. Are you ready to uncover the truths and face the dangers of this enchanted metropolis? Join us on BackerKit to bring the mysteries of Grimwood City to life. Your adventure awaits.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Geek Out. With me today, I have Drew, who is going to be my sidekick for tonight, and we're going to talk about some cool things that we're doing. And in a minute, we're just going to quickly go over the normal news stuff real quick, and then we'll talk about Runejammer because Drew is doing Runejammer as am myself. So we're going to go ahead and talk about his game that he's running, which if you guys want to check out, that's his Runejammer link, which has all of the games that he's playing. And then we're going to go ahead and talk about that. But first, same thing that we normally do. Let's get to the news. All right. So, oops, I have my Discord up. Not much news today. But one thing that I did want to mention is itch.io is having a TTRPGs for Palestine. They have 354 creators who donated their books to this. They've raised 74,000, but they're aiming for 100,000. So if you could go give them a follow, there's some really cool games on this list. All pretty much indie games, which I'm all for because as an indie developer, I'm all for that. But something is wrong with the chickens. I think I have to play that game. I don't know what it is, but that makes me want to play. Something is wrong for the chickens. I like that title. Wait, what?
Sorry, it sounds like good.
Can you just? They're asking if you can angle your camera a little bit lower. That is better, much better. Actually, I can hear you better too.
Great. Doing what I can.
Get that game and run it, DM Tales. If you're going to run it, I will. I was going to support this anyways. I would totally have you run that, because I think that's just funny. Something wrong with those chickens.
That almost reminds me of there's a comic that I feel like that name is meant to be evoking, called Something is Killing the Children, and that feels like something on the same wavelength for some reason.
It's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be Cthulhu with at least the imaging, and they have those tentacles coming out. So I'm all for that. But there's some really interesting. There's a dwarf Borg, which is like a pirate. I'm guessing it's a Mork Borg clone. Yeah. So go. Go check it out and join it and help Palestine because it's totally worth it. It's a good hard sell. The second one is another good thing is Queers, an RPG, is debuting this month, and it's think super Japanese heroes but gay.
It's gay Power Rangers, is what it looks like.
Exactly. And I'm all for that, 100%. Let's go ahead and get this. I mean, look at that. It looks gay Power Rangers. Yeah, I'm all for it. Let's go support them. Is known for their work on City and Mist. Oh, it's Son of Oak Game Studios. Oh, I didn't know they were releasing it. I like Son of Oak. They do some good work. City and Mist is really good. So yeah, go support them. Say hi to them and see what's going on. Those are really the only two news things. Other than that, we got some Kickstarters. The first being Planet of the Apes role-playing game has launched. It's got 30 days left. I know I talked about this earlier in the month where they were planning on launching it, but it has officially launched. So I'm all for anything Planet of the Apes because I like that place. Which setting?
Franchise.
Setting. There we go. So yeah. So Planet of the Apes. Another one I found was Skydrift. It's basically Sky Pirates for 5e. Looks like. Which I know there's a lot of Sky Pirates for 5e, but this one looked kind of interesting. I'm probably going to back this one just to check it out. It has like an interesting power node-based adventure structure. So we'll check that out most likely. Another sea-based one, Song of the Seas, is a 5e thing that adds 3 new classes, 20 subclasses, 100 spells, and naval combat. Not like people haven't done this before. Many people have. But again, I'm all for independent people, and it looks interesting. They're going to have a Foundry VTT module for it, which I'm all for, because I'm big on Foundry VTT. So, and there's samples to check out, so it's not like you're going to buy something that you don't know. And then I've toted this a couple times on the stream, but Outgunned Adventure. Outgun is probably one of my coolest things. Have you ever heard of Outgunned, Drew?
No.
It uses Yahtzee as its mechanic. Oh, really? Yeah. So basically,
this is great.
Basically, you get successes based on the number of pairs that you have, and if you get Yahtzee, then you get to do something special.
That's fun.
And Outgunned is a like action flick type setting. They're coming out with a Indiana Jones type setting.
Oh, cool.
So I'm very excited for it. As you can see, I've already backed it. So, it's really interesting. Like, their mechanic system is really interesting. How they do it. Another one is Hollows. Hollows, it seemed like Dark Souls for TTRPG. It looked interesting. It's not up my game alley, but I figured it might be somebody else's, so I figured I'd place it on here. It's definitely kind of Dark Souls, dark fantasy type scenario. Hey, Stellar. Welcome. And then we have Bump in the Dark, which is a revised edition. It's basically monster hunting, and I'm all for modern day monster hunting, as we all know, since I've pretty much Grimwood is basically monster hunting. But think this is very much screams to me supernatural. Like, so updated streamline rules. It's their second edition, so go check it out. See if it's something up your alley. And then again, I've toted them before. All right. I will check it out as soon as I get done streaming. So Vastgrim. Drew, Vastgrim is a Morkborg that puts you in like Alien Isolation or Space Odyssey 2000.
Okay, cool.
Like, it's very terrifying. And they're coming out with expansions. So there's a sci-fi art punk RPG. So it's like they're coming out with some expansions. And the guy who wrote it is a very nice guy. I can't keep meaning to get him on the show. I keep forgetting to. Oh, Nintendo's is streaming. Well, yeah. Well, if he's still streaming DM Tales when we leave, I'll definitely write out to him. But yeah, so very cool guy. Vastgrim is a very interesting, cool world. It's got that Morkborg feel, so like you can like flipping through it, like it feels like a graphic novel more than a RPG structure.
Yeah.
But that is all of the major things that I have for this week. It's really not much. So I guess let's jump into Runejammer, because Runejammer is why we're really here.
Yeah.
Ooh. You got me with that one, Stellar. Hey, Dan. Welcome. I was just backing forth between you and Nintendo's. Well, say hello. So you're doing a index card RPG setting for Runejammer. Can you just go ahead and give a brief overview of what people might want to know about it?
So, Isengrim Manor is my attempt at doing a ICRPG hack, index card RPG. Specifically one that I wanted to go hyper specific, because I realized that I thought this goes into like philosophy stuff, but I realized that I couldn't outdo the Wastes of My Kind and Altered State on their own terms, because I love those two supplements to Index Card RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Altered State is the official cyberpunk one, and then the Wastes of My Kind is a post-apocalypse Mad Max third-party Index Card RPG hack. And I kept looking at them and went, I can't beat them at their own game. So I went for something hyper specific, hyper toned. It kind of like I'm sorry if I'm getting way too philosophical here, but it kind of does a lot of things that I think a lot of RPGs should experiment with more, which is like time and specific places. And I have no character creation system in it, so it's just a set of pre-gens. So that's something we could talk about. But sorry, I'm rambling. But the major like theme of it is that it's Darkest Dungeon, the video game, in a fairy tale castle. So you're fighting animated knives and forks and kitchenware. You're dealing with animated books in the library. You're dealing with the Gorgon groundskeeper in the statue garden, stuff like that. So you go between different regions of this castle, and deal with the weird staff of the place. It's kind of like a very dungeon crawly adventure.
So, okay, so out of everything you've written for it, which I'm not sure if it's done or not, because you still have another month. What exactly, like, what's your favorite thing you've written so far for it?
So, I love the characters, the Fellowship, which we can talk about. I gave you the PDF of it.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
I love the Fellowship so much because I think that's honestly the biggest mission statement in the thing. I wanted to do pre-gens that felt like it was a reward to play them instead of, oh, I'm playing a pre-gen, that means they're boring.
They have a war goose. People.
Thank you.
They have a war goose.
Let's just go to that page then.
That's where I skipped. Hey Rex, how are you doing? I'm 100% on board because you have a war goose. I know that seems silly, but it's the case. But you definitely, you're using Index Card RPG, so it has your strength, dexterity, con. So anybody who hasn't played Index Card RPG, it's basically a simplified D20. Yes, a war goose. It's basically a simplified D&D where you have your strength, dex, constitution, intelligence, and wisdom and charisma, but they're just bonuses. They're not necessarily they're not numbers. And then you have your damages, which are your basic, your weapon, your magic, your ultimate. And you basically roll with using your abilities, and then when you roll damage, you would roll a type of, and they don't call it damage. What do they call it? They call it effort. So you roll your effort to actually do the damage.
Each effort category is bound to a specific die.
Correct. So you got your D4, you got your D6, your D8, and then your D12. So, and I mean, this is a great picture of the war goose. I just want to charge forward. So, is the first time you're running it going to be Runejammer?
No, I've been doing playtests since December, I guess. December, I was doing. I'm actually trying to think. So from like November-ish to January or February, I was doing I was working on the regions of each of the manor, and then I kind of landed on the idea of doing the pre-gens as a big thing. So I'd say in like March, we got like, I started like running what I would consider the modern version of it. So I'm sorry if I'm rambling too much.
You're not rambling. You're fine.
Cool. But no, it is not. So this is all kind of relatively pretty polished. I'm running the wings that are kind of done a couple times for Runejammer. So most of what I'm doing for Runejammer has already been written. I'm just doing like polish work on all of it. There are regions of the manor that are fully unwritten still.
Okay. So any plans on making this an actual setting that you release?
Absolutely. My hope is I can get out a like early access PDF during Runejammer. My hope is like I will run the courtyard, which is kind of like a tutorial region, and then like that same day, hopefully, maybe probably before, my hope is to publish on like itch a early access thing.
Not drive-through?
I'm not sure. I might put it on drive-through. I might put it on itch. I still haven't really gotten like that end of it handled yet.
I went back and forth, and drive-through is a little bit more. You get noticed a little bit more.
Okay, good to know. So
With Grimwood City, because I'm playing Grimwood City. I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet, Rex. But he is definitely going to be playing it at Runejammer. Because DM Tales, the reason why not both is you get 70% of a profit if you're exclusive with Drive Through RPG, where if you're not exclusive, you only get 60%.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why not both. I mean, even if you only charge $5 for it, $5, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
F capitalism, yeah. You know what? I have to make a living and pay my artist.
Yes.
You are playing Grimwood City at Runejammer. Go ahead.
Speaking of art, if you go to either Bear or Candle or Braids,
sure,
I do have actual cool art.
Candle is amazing. I like this art.
Yeah, let's do Candle then. I don't have your thing on my on up, so I just have to guess at what you're showing people.
Oh, you don't have the stream up? That's fine.
I probably should, but
it's delayed anyway, so you'll be delayed.
Cool.
So, I want to make a living, but exclusive. I'm thinking about switching mine from exclusive DM Tales, but that 10% is a lot. It really is. And HIO, you just don't get the. There's no place for people to browse. Like, I've gotten people off Grimwood City so far just because they were browsing. So, like, but at Runejammer is just for people who don't know what Runejammer is, and if you're part of this, I've been talking about it, so I'm not sure how you wouldn't know. But Runejammer is basically a free online con that you can go and play Runejammer published games, such as Crown and Skull, EZD6, Index Card RPG. There's one more, but yeah, thank you. So you can go and play those. They have a bunch of DMs playing. You can find Drew's there. Mine is same URL, just changed torn the last bit to Grimwood Games. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fun. At least I think it's gonna be fun.
I hope it'll be fun.
It's the first time I'm doing it, first time you're doing it, so
yeah. So who knows?
I know I've met some really cool DMs running games there. See, DM Tales, you never bother going to Itch because nobody does. Nobody goes, oh, I'm going to find a TTRPG on Itch. No, they go to they go to Drive Through RPG. Unfortunately, Drive Through RPG kind of has a hold on the industry as far as like finding stuff. That being said, what else should we know about your game besides that it has a war goose?
Great question. Truly, I don't know what else I can use to really sell people.
What about this? You have an extra. You have some an extra.
Yes, thank you.
Mechanic in there.
I have the underclock, which is basically it's a giant timer. If you know Index Card RPG, you know timers, but it's a giant D10 timer. It starts at 10. Each session, we call them delves. There's a whole delve structure in this game. that I'm really proud of. And at the end of each round, it ticks down 1. At 0, it hits the silent toll, and something bad happens depending on the region you're in. It's
And
pretty simple.
isn't Resolve something new too?
Yeah, so Resolve is inspired by Grit from The Waste of Their Kind, and it's 5d10 that you use in a group pool that you can use to boost rolls, ignore damage, take extra actions, generally break rules. It's kind of a way to
it's kind of like a hero
the
die.
rule of cool. It's a bit of like the hero die. Some of it, it's like a gamifying the rule of cool in certain ways.
I mean, if somebody said, "Hey, I want to use my hero die to do this really cool move," I'll be like, "Do it."
Exactly. And that's essentially how Resolve works. Yeah.
So that's really cool. So okay, so you have some pre-gens. You have what? 12? No, how many? 10 pre-gens. So you have Ash, who looks undead. Is that the case?
That is just no. He's more of a gunslinger. That visual is simply because of the AR of the art.
Oh, okay. So he's just basically a gunslinger. Okay, so he's a cowboy.
Pretty much. Yeah, he's a cowboy.
And then you have Bear. Go ahead.
Ash is specifically unaligned with the kind of like alignment of this world because he's like a foreigner. So the idea is that he's a gunslinger in a fairy tale world. So he like has no magic, is just a gunslinger in a fairy tale world, because I thought that was a cool idea.
Nice. And then you have Bear. Bear is like a ranger? Is that kind of what I'm getting?
Yeah, he's a ranger mixed with Batman in that he's hyper prepared, and he has preparation, which is the whole thing of like he can automatically succeed on stuff. He can max out his damage. When he levels up, he can start ignoring attacks. He has a trap system, so he has Bear Trap and Snare Trap. Bear Trap deals damage and forces
Batman Ranger. That's right, DM tells Batman Ranger. So he has this thing called Cunning. That's not in Index Card RPG. That's something else.
Yeah, that is some of the characters have like a personal resource, and those are fully custom stuff. Just because I thought it was a cool idea for the pre-gens.
Nice. And then you have Braids.
Braids, who is a knight monk type. She's best described as Rapunzel and Samson from the Bible are smashed together into a brawly monk who gets power from her hair.
Cool. I'm not bored. I've had a long day. That's why I yawned. Just so everybody knows. I'm just really tired. It's been a long, exhausting day. And then you have Candle, who is like the rogue assassin type deal.
He's the rogue assassin. He sold his shadow to like the owl-eyed boy, who's like a warlock patron. That's a whole long ramble. He's the only character that can rewind the underclock reliably.
Oh, he can rewind. Yeah. Ooh.
He can rewind it, and he has a shadow mechanic of he steals shadows that all go away at the end of each session, but they're quite powerful because they can add magic effort to any roll pretty much.
Nice. And then you have Charmer. I'm assuming he's like the bard, the Prince Charming.
Yep, he's the bard, Prince Charming. That's pretty much who he is.
So he gets Inspire, which is choose another adventure and they gain 1 mastery.
So that's a downtime action. So how the downtime actions work is at the end of each delve, you get 2 downtime actions. And the baseline ones are Rest, which are gain 3 HP, and then Train, which is gain 1 mastery. Mastery is XP. You gain a skill every 5 mastery.
Nice. So you really built this more of a campaign than just a one-shot.
Yes, this is absolutely designed to be a campaign one-shot. It's almost like a West Marches game, but very formatted as a. In my ideal is that I could run a con just doing this. So it's like 12 sessions, one in each region.
Nice.
And you do essentially just a con, and you essentially just build that through, choosing different characters depending on the region you want to play in, stuff like that.
I still like the War Goose.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to get over that.
I'm really proud of that quote on the art page of his, which is "Fear the man who feeds the goose, for he fears nothing."
And then you have Kid, which seems like the big brute.
Yeah, he's the barbarian. That art is not out of date, but not representative. Kid is Jack and the Beanstalk. If he, instead of selling the cow for for magic beans, sold it for a talking axe.
Okay.
So he's like a barbarian rage guy. He can auto hit for double damage with spending a rage. Rage costs him 3 HP to gain.
Okay.
That's pretty much him.
And then you have Red, who's a vampire. Mistress.
Vampire Red Riding Hood.
I'm down for that. Vampire Red Riding Hood. That's good. And I'm guessing Snow is like Snow White.
She is Snow White if the dwarves were Vikings.
Gotcha.
And she really got into the Viking or Northern culture, kind of. That's pretty much her.
And then Songbird. Songbird is like a druid.
Songbird is the druid. She was raised by birds. And she can turn into birds. She can summon birds. She has a pouch of healing bird seed. She's the only healer in the starting fellowship, because there's the 10 in the starting fellowship, and then in the manor I have 15 recruitable characters you can play if you find them in the game.
You heard that right. Viking dwarfs.
Pretty easy, but specifically, actually, the dwarves in the setting are the Mourners, who are a monstrous faction we can look at, as I send you that.
So, yeah, interesting. So, these seem like some really fun characters to play. Okay, question. Yeah. Does Songbird actually talk?
Repeat, who did you say? Songbird?
Yeah, Songbird. Does she actually talk because she was brought up by birds?
So, I think that is up to the player. That's one of those things where I might suggest she can't talk.
Yeah, if I played her, she wouldn't talk.
Yeah, one of my favorite sessions I've ever played had a friend of mine who is a very good talks in character person, and he played Songbird as almost like a crazy hermit, and had her hate the adventuring mice, who are another one of the factions, because they were in the trees. They were in the trees, so he had Songbird hate these mice because it was the trees are mine. It's pretty great.
Yeah, Courtyard. I thought I downloaded these mice, but now I'm not seeing them.
I'm so sorry.
No, not your fault. My fault. So here is the Viking dwarfs, I'm assuming.
So those are the Mourners, who are undead dwarves.
Undead dwarves.
Yeah, so it's...
And then you have Frog Knights.
Yeah, the Frog Knights.
And then you have the Foundlings.
Yeah, the Foundlings are Goblin Lost Boys. So they are Lost Boys from Peter Pan if they turned into goblins.
Nice. And then you have the Adventuring Mice.
Yep. The Adventuring Mice, the very Mouse Ritter.
All right. This seems like an interesting, fun scenario.
Yeah.
Makes me want to play, but I think we have games all at the same time.
Yeah.
But it seems interesting. I definitely like the concept of like this big manor that different races actually live in and exist in.
Yeah.
So
And then I don't have a finished monster like sheet for them. But there's also the huntsmen who are elves with elk heads. So they're like deer-headed monstrous hunters that roam the more overgrown sections of the manor.
Seems interesting.
Yeah.
Can you think of so your schedule is? Are you doing basically nights or?
I'm moving all over the place because I wanted to kind of diversify the options I had. So I have Saturday. The give me a sec. I have to look it up.
I'll just pull out
Okay, cool.
and show people. So you have Saturday. The first Saturday, you're going to do 2100 Eastern,
Yep.
which is what 7 o'clock. 9.
I think it's 9.
9. You're right. 2000 is 8. And then Monday you have one at 11 o'clock. And then Tuesday 8 a.m.
Yep.
And then Wednesday again at 9.
That sounds correct.
And you're not full yet, right?
No, I am not full on any of them. The Statue Garden, which is the Wednesday one, I have 1 player, and then I think I have 2 players for everything else.
Nice.
And I can go up to 5.
Custom.
Pretty comfortably.
So that's
and
interesting.
I run a ton of one shots in just my day-to-day, week-to-week thing. So if you are interested in playing in the setting, find me. Like, I am on Discord as Torn. I'm on.
Torn.
Yeah.
Have I sent you my Discord? You can just join my Discord and post.
That'd be great. Send me that.
I'll send you that link.
Cool.
Because that's
so I'll just.
Most of these people are in my Discord, so.
Cool.
But yeah, so definitely like check out his stuff because it sounds like it's really strange and out there. Like it's pretty interesting.
I appreciate that.
I kind of wish I wasn't playing at these times. Some of these times I'm playing at, and the other times I'm working, so I won't be able to play. But I definitely.
We'll talk after the stream if you're interested.
Yeah, we can. Maybe we'll get a stream going, and I'll get a couple players, and we'll get a session going with it.
That'd be great.
Probably won't be before Runejammer, people. Just so everybody knows.
That's fine.
I'm pretty solidly booked up until Runejammer. DM Tales volunteers as tribute.
Cool.
All right. Well, I think that's all I have to talk about. I know you have a heart out, so I want to get that.
Yeah.
Get you in and out. But again,
I actually do have something to talk about kind of bit. If you could do one of the play sheets, which is the last thing I sent on Discord.
Yeah, sure.
The play sheet's kind of an important part of how I do stuff, especially for these games. They are basically just handouts that I got really tired of of having to reiterate what mechanics we were using for a given encounter when I ran other games. So I decided, why not for this, because I'm doing a lot of weird stuff anyway, go with, there's just a handout, you have a map, you have perfect knowledge of the map. You don't have like perfect knowledge of the room names or anything. But they have the target on them, they have how to interact with the target, they have how to do loot. They have.
I think I'm looking at them right. I'm looking at the Statue Garden.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Okay.
So in the statue garden, for instance, the target starts at 13. You can steal offerings by striking the underclock to acquire pieces of loot. You can strike it twice to get a room-specific item. You can give away items to rewind the underclock and stop the groundskeeper from moving. And then there's the groundskeeper, who is a Gorgon, and he will slowly hunt you down as you go through the manor, as you go through the garden. And his deal is he moves once at each round, at the end of each round, and then when you actually encounter him, he just strikes the underclock, which is reducing it as fast as possible until it hits 0. Because as it says, if he's in the same room as the Fellowship during the Silent Toll, which is it hitting 0, each adventurer becomes petrified, which is they essentially die. You can like go back into the statue garden and save them, but those characters cannot be played again immediately.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When you release it, you need to make a character generation, though.
Are you serious?
Yeah, go ahead.
I probably should. I really like the pre-gens as a homage to Darkest Dungeon, which is
I think pre-gens are great for one-shots and stuff like that, but if I'm going to play a campaign, I want my own character.
That's fair. I get that impulse. I just think it's an experiment and something I'm willing to kind of like die on the hill of for this particular game. It's like I totally get
that case you need a whole lot more pre-gens.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if they start dying and you're trying to replay them,
yeah,
you're gonna need a whole lot more pre-gens.
Yeah, and that's fair. And that is why I have the recruitment stuff, because each of the 5 factions has 3 recruits you can play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some of it. But I get your argument.
Yeah, I mean, my argument is if I have the capability of dying, like in Darkest Dungeon, I should be able to do a roguelike and restart.
Yeah.
With a new character.
That's fair.
All right, so I think, unless there's something that I'm missing that you want to talk about.
I think we've hit the points I wanted to talk about, so we're good.
All right,
good.
So let's go ahead and raid Nintendads, and close off this thing, because I've had a long fucking week and I'm ready to call it quits. Wait, cool. Is Nintendads not streaming anymore? Now I gotta go check. Hold on. Oh yeah, no, he's still streaming. I just couldn't find him because I was typing this stuff wrong. Let's go see Nintendads and say hi to him. Thank you guys for everybody showing up. And we'll talk to you guys all later.
Cool.
Stick around, Drew. I want to say thanks to you afterwards.
Sure.
All right, let's go raid Nintendads. And 2, 3, 1. Let's go raid him. All right. Give me 1 sec. There's a thing in Twitch where you have to talk to the people after you raid. So give me 1 sec.
Okay.